the webinar on the medicine administration. So I'm just going to go into my uniform program here. So first of all, scenario is we have a new medicine. We know we haven't used it on farm before, and we haven't got it on our program. So we'd like to create a new medicine. So we're going to go to, I'm just going to cancel out that one. We're going to go to our cow's head, and we're going to go into daily tasks and go to our medicine list. This is a list of the medicines that we have in our program currently. Just going to sort that into alphabetical order so we can see properly what medicines we've got here. If you notice, we have a not in use column. If you're adding a medicine onto an animal and you know you've got it in stock, but it's not appearing, I would suggest going to this medicine list and just double checking that it's not selected as not in use. If it is, you can just double click on it and then untick the not in use button and then press OK, and then that medicine will be available for you to use. So we're creating a new medicine of Cepravin. We don't have it currently on our list here. So we're going to click on the new button, type in the medicine name. We're going to select what unit that comes in. So that's going to be a tube. If it's an antibiotic, you can tick the antibiotic tick box there. And then you can also put the price per tube. So we're going to say it's £2. You then need to enter your milk and meat withdrawal. We're entering the withdrawal periods here, but this is editable once you go and apply that medicine to an animal. So if you need to adjust that just for that animal, you can do that when you go into your daily events or into batch entry. But we're just going to put the standard milk and meat withdrawal here. You need to ensure that show on medicine usage report is ticked. So when we do pull our medicine usage report, this medicine will show on there. And if it's a critically important, then we'll tick that tick box there. So if you've got a critically important antibiotic, you would select both of those. And I'll show you where you can pull that report later on. So we're just going to say, OK, we've got our new medicine Cepravin. It's just telling us that we've changed the withdrawal period. So we'll say OK. And now it's asking if we want to purchase this medicine right now. So we're going to say, yes, we do. And now we can purchase our medicine by filling out the following form. So Cepravin is pre-populated. The purchase date, we can say it's from either today or in the past. You can't purchase medicines for the future. So we're going to say we purchased it today. Type in our batch number. Select the expiry date. You don't necessarily have to put an open date. That will pre-populate once you start using the medicine in the program. So I would leave that blank. If you haven't opened it yet, that's fine. And then the amount. This is the amount that you've purchased. So if you've purchased 200 tubes, I would type in there 200. And now we need to select who that medicine came from, what supplier. So you can click on the square next to supplier. If the person that you've purchased those medicines from isn't shown in that list there, we can add a new supplier by pressing the plus button. Now we need to type in the name of that supplier here. So we're just going to type in drugstore. That also has to be pasted into the herd number, otherwise it won't appear in the system. And we're also going to tick medicines because that's what they're associated with. So wherever you purchase a medicine within the system, this drugstore will come up as a supplier. So now they're appearing there. We're just going to select them and say OK, and OK again. So now we've purchased 200 tubes of Cepravin. To find that medicine in our purchased medicines, if we go into the cow's head and health and treatments and our purchased medicines, we can see that Cepravin and the batch that we've just put on is there in our purchased medicines, and that we purchased 200 tubes from the drugstore. What you can do from here as well is you can add another purchase on from this screen. So if you wanted to purchase some more, you can just press that purchase button there. And because Cepravin's already been entered just now, we can also select that. So that's there now for the future. And again, those ones marked not in use, they won't appear on this. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to check our medicine stock. So to do that, we go cow's head, health and treatments, and medicine stock. And we can see in our medicine stock, we have 200 tubes of Cepravin there, and the batch number. In your properties, as you can see, we've got two batches of Orbisil. If we're checking what stock we have on farm and we see that we only have 150 tubes of Orbisil on the system, but actually in the medicine cupboard, we've got 147. It's important to make that adjustment, and to do that, if you click the adjustment button here, you can select the medicine that you want to adjust. So it's batch ABC of 150 tubes. We've got 147 in the actual stock cupboard. So the adjustment amount that I need to make is 3 tubes. And then I'll put the relevant comment in from the drop down. I'm going to say they were expired. Press OK, and as you can see now, I've got 147 tubes in stock. You may not be able to see what batches you have, and if you go into properties, this group by batch number, this tick box here, if it's ticked, it splits the medicine out into their batches. If it's not ticked, then as you can see, I've only got one lot of Orbisil there, and I can't see the batch numbers to then manage my stock. So I would suggest ticking group by batch number and saving that as a setting. So every time you go into medicine stock, you can see how much of each batch you have left. So we've put our Cepravin on, and we want to assign Cepravin to a treatment. So when we put that treatment on, Cepravin comes up automatically. To do that, if you go into the cow's head and daily tasks, you have your treatment list here, number 7. So we're going to click onto treatment list. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a new treatment of dry off. We're going to select new here, and we want that description to be dry off. The category, we're going to select the relevant one here. And to associate Cepravin to dry off, we need to go into medicine, select the medicine that we've just put on. So I'm just typing in that box to shortlist it to the relevant matches. Press OK. And every time I put a treatment on of dry off, I want to allocate that animal automatically 4 tubes. It tells us the official milk and meat withdrawal, which is what it's pulling from the medicine list. And again, I'm just going to double enter that in there just to clarify that that's the milk and meat withdrawal. And also select the region that that medicine is administered, and it's important to tick from own stock. So as soon as that treatment of dry off is allocated to an animal and that medicine of Sepravin, that it's calculated out of our stock. Press OK, and we now have dry off there with Sepravin. Now, if we go into the cow's head and daily tasks, into daily events, and we find an animal that's due to be dried off. So we got number 57 here. Press enter. We're going to put in dry off. So we're going to put in the letter D to pre-populate dry off. We're going to dry her off today. So you'll press enter. And then next to the treatment, if we press that button on the right of that treatment field, we're going to select the treatment of dry off, which we've just created. And we're going to say that John dried that animal off. Press next. Add medicine, so we want to add the Sepravin, but because we've selected that dry off treatment, when we go to next, Sepravin and the batch is already pre-populated along with the amount and the withdrawal periods. Medicine from own stocks already ticked, which is good. If we had more than one batch, we would be able to select what batch that was of Sepravin that we want to use, and then press next, and then finish. So that animal now has been dried off. You can also do the same in the batch entry and dry off. Select the animals you want to dry off as a batch. Click next. Select your date again. And it's a dry off treatment. And because in the treatment list, when we created that treatment of dry off, we selected the category of dry off. That's where that's pulling from. So press next. And now we're going to select dry off again. The same person is administering the medicine. Next again, add medicine. And again, our Sepravin has pre-populated. So it saves a lot of time data entering. So we're going to just press next again and finish. Just telling us our milk and meat withdrawals and the fact that 2 animals have been dry off, 2 treatments, 1 on each, and again with the medicine. So to now go in and see that medicine being used against those animals, what we can do is go into our medicine usage report. So that's our cow's head, health and treatments, and we've got our medicine usage report here, number 6. And as you can see, this is our medicine usage report. We're just going to sort it into date order. And what you can do is you can bunch them together into the medicines if that's easier. So we're going to do date order and we're going to do descending. So we're going to go from today. You can see at the top, the period we're looking over is the last month. If you want to adjust the period that you're looking over, go into properties and you can select the date range that you want to look through. So if you wanted to do the last 6 months, you can do just by selecting the date range there and pressing OK. What you can do from here, if you can see, at the top here where I've got my Sepravin, because I've entered the milk and meat withdrawal periods, I've entered who gave the animal that medicine, I've entered the batch number. The more information I've entered there, the more information I'll be able to pull in reports. And that's the same throughout the system. The more information you enter, the more you'll get back on your reports. So if I was looking over this in a year's time, I'll be able to see exactly who gave what animal, what batch of medicine, and how much. If you're farm assurance reporting and you want to pull your critical antibiotic report, if you just go into summary from here, then all your critically important antibiotics within the date range that you have selected will appear on this report here. And again, that date range is managed by the properties button on this report. Yeah. So we're just going to go back to our dashboard. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to type them in now and we'll address those in the next 15 minutes. So that's our medicine usage, report, managing our medicine stock, batch entering medicine on an animal, assigning a medicine to a treatment, purchasing medicines, and also creating new medicines.